Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the scent of wood smoke hanging in the air, a chill wind whispering through cobbled streets, the distant clang of a blacksmith's hammer. Can you feel it? That pull, that echo of another time. We are, each of us, walking through history, carrying the weight of generations past. But what if you could step into those generations? Not as an observer, but as a participant. That's the magic we're going to explore today. We all love stories. Stories are how we make sense of the world, how we understand ourselves, how we connect with each other. And all stories fall somewhere on a spectrum, a vast landscape of imagination. We call these areas genres. Think of it like this. Fiction is the overarching category, everything made up, born from the mind. But within that enormous realm, there are countless neighborhoods. Cozy mysteries, thrilling science fiction, fantastical adventures, each with its own unique atmosphere, its own set of expectations. Now, imagine a genre that isn't just about what if, but about what was. A genre that invites you to walk alongside those who lived before us, to experience their triumphs and their struggles, their joys and their heartbreaks. That genre is historical. Fiction. But what does that mean exactly? It's more than just a story set in the past. It's more than knights and castles, or powdered wigs and horse-drawn carriages. It's a portal, a meticulously crafted illusion that breathes life into history. It's about immersion. It's about feeling the texture of the past against your skin. Think of your own life, the everyday moments that define you. The way you talk to your friends, the clothes you wear, the music you listen to, the technology you rely on, all of these are shaped by the time in which you live. Now imagine stripping all of that away. Imagine being transported to a world where those familiar comforts don't exist. Where the rules are different, the values are different, even the air feels different. Historical fiction strives to recreate that reality. To build a world that feels authentic, that rings true to the historical period it depicts. It's not simply about getting the dates right, though accuracy is crucial. It's about understanding the spirit of the age. What did people believe? What were their hopes and fears? What motivated their actions? A truly great historical fiction novel doesn't just tell you about the past, it shows you. It doesn't simply state that life was hard. It lets you feel the weight of that hardship through the eyes of its characters. It doesn't just tell you about a historical event. It places you in the midst of the chaos and the drama. Consider a baker in ancient Rome. You won't just learn that they baked bread. You'll smell the warm, yeasty aroma filling the small bakery. You'll feel the heat radiating from the stone oven. You'll hear the chatter of customers haggling over prices. You'll see the flour dust coating their hands and clothes. You'll understand the importance of their work, providing sustenance for a bustling city. That's the power of historical fiction. To transform abstract facts into visceral experiences. Now you might be thinking, okay, so it's about the past. But isn't that just history? Not quite. History, as you learn in school, is an attempt to reconstruct the past based on evidence, documents, artifacts, archaeological findings. It's about what actually happened. Historical fiction, on the other hand, is about what could have happened. It's about imagining the lives of people who lived in the past, filling in the gaps where history is silent. Think of history as the skeleton of a story. It provides the framework, the essential structure. Historical fiction is the muscle, the skin, the breath that brings that skeleton to life. And here's where it gets really interesting. While historical fiction is rooted in fact, it's not bound by it. Authors often weave fictional characters and events into the fabric of history, creating narratives that explore the human experience in a new and compelling way. A real historical figure might make a cameo appearance, but their story will be reimagined, reinterpreted through the lens of fiction. A significant event might serve as the backdrop for a personal story, allowing the author to explore its impact on ordinary people. It's a delicate balance. Authors have a responsibility to be respectful of the historical record, to avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes or inaccuracies. But they also have the freedom to imagine, to explore, to create. That freedom is what allows historical fiction to be so powerful, so moving, so thought-provoking. Let's talk about language. Imagine traveling back to Elizabethan England. Do you think you'd be able to understand what people were saying? Probably not. Language evolves over time. Words change their meanings, new words are coined, old words fall out of use. A good historical fiction author will pay close attention to the language of the period, using words and phrases that would have been common at the time. They won't, however, create a text that's completely impenetrable. There's a balance to be struck between authenticity and readability. The goal isn't to replicate the language of the past perfectly, but to evoke its flavor, its rhythm, its atmosphere. You won't hear a character in a historical novel using slang like "cool dude" or talking about the latest video game, because those things simply didn't exist. The details matter. The way people dressed, the food they ate, the homes they lived in, the jobs they held, all of these things contribute to the authenticity of the world. A skilled author will research these details meticulously, ensuring that their portrayal of the past is as accurate as possible. But why bother? Why spend so much time and effort recreating a world that no longer exists? Because the past has a lot to teach us. By exploring the lives of those who came before us, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our society, and the challenges we face today. History doesn't just repeat itself, it rhymes. Patterns emerge. Mistakes are made, lessons are learned and forgotten. Historical fiction can help us remember those lessons, to avoid repeating the errors of the past. It can also help us to see the world in a new light, to challenge our assumptions, to question our beliefs, to broaden our perspectives. When we step into the shoes of someone who lived in a different time and place, we are forced to confront our own biases and prejudices. We are reminded that there are many different ways to live, many different ways to see the world. Consider a novel set during the American Civil Rights Movement. It might not explicitly preach a message about equality and justice, but by immersing you in the lives of those who fought for those rights, it can inspire empathy, understanding, and a renewed commitment to those ideals. Think about The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, narrated by death itself, set in Nazi Germany. It doesn't just tell you about the horrors of the Holocaust. It shows you the courage and resilience of ordinary people in the face of unimaginable evil. It forces you to confront the darkness of human nature, but also to celebrate the power of hope and compassion. Or take the I Survived series, a popular choice for younger readers. These books don't just recount historical disasters, they put you right in the middle of them, allowing you to experience the fear, the chaos, and the determination to survive. They make history accessible, engaging, and emotionally resonant. There are countless other examples. From Hilary Mantel's masterful portrayal of Thomas Cromwell in Wolf Hall, to Ken Follett's sweeping saga of medieval England in The Pillars of the Earth, historical fiction offers a rich and diverse landscape of stories waiting to be discovered. But it's not just about grand historical events. It's also about the small, intimate moments that make up a life. The love affairs, the friendships, the family dramas, the everyday struggles. These are the things that connect us to the past, that make those who lived before us feel real and relatable. Imagine reading a novel about a young woman working in a textile mill during the Industrial Revolution. You won't just learn about the conditions in the mill. You'll experience the exhaustion, the monotony, the dangers. You'll feel her frustration, her longing for a better life, her determination to provide for her family. You'll connect with her on a human level, despite the vast differences in your time and place. That's the power of historical fiction. To bridge the gap between past and present, to remind us that we are all part of a larger story. It's about recognizing our shared humanity. It's about understanding that the people who lived before us were just as complex, just as flawed, just as hopeful as we are. They faced their own challenges, they made their own mistakes, they dreamed their own dreams. And their stories matter. Because when we lose touch with our past, we lose touch with ourselves. We lose our sense of identity, our sense of purpose, our sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Historical fiction helps us to reclaim that connection. It helps us to understand where we came from, how we got here, and where we might be going. It reminds us that we are not alone, that we are part of a continuous chain of human experience. So, the next time you're looking for a good book, consider picking up a historical fiction novel. Step into another time, another place, another life. Allow yourself to be transported, to be challenged, to be moved. Let the past speak to you. Let it whisper its secrets, its lessons, its stories. Because within those stories lies a profound truth, that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in our memories, in our traditions, in our hearts. And it continues to shape the world we live in today. Don't just read about history. Experience it. Don't just learn about the past. Connect with it. Open a book. Take a breath. And prepare to be transported. Because the past is waiting. And it has a story to tell. A story about us. A story about you. A story about the enduring power of the human spirit. And perhaps most importantly, a story about the possibility of a better future, informed by the lessons of yesterday. Don't just exist in the present, truly live through time.